Good morning and much thanks for being with us on Ubctv. Welcome to our newsreel. I'm Robert Cherabo Nyonyintono. Now, today we are having guests and we are discussing something still very important. Most of the times you've had need for money. And we know that one of the avenues or the methodology being used to get money, more so in communities, is formation of cooperatives. Sometimes people call them circles, and today we want to know more regarding the Uganda Federation of Credit Cooperatives. What is this? How are you in this line of business, moving on in the cooperative arena, knowledgeable about this particular body? And I'm not alone to discuss this. I have Chepa Andrew, who is the CEO, Uganda Federation of Community Cooperatives. You're most welcome.
Thank you so much, and welcome, viewers.
And to the extreme end, I have Wambale Pasco, Chief Finance Officer, Uganda Federation of Community Cooperatives. You're most welcome, Pasco.
Thank you so much. Good morning, viewers.
And without any I'll move directly to Pasco. Pasco, Uganda Federation of Community Cooperatives may be something very new to many Ugandans, despite those that could be aware of it. First, help us understand, what is this all about and what is your mandate?
Yeah, thank you so much. Uganda Federation of Community Cooperatives is a union of community credit cooperatives. The community credit cooperatives have been established in this country. It is a form of financial cooperatives. In this country, we have quite a number of financial cooperatives that we may be aware of. We have the circles. Recently, the government established or started the formation of the MIOGA. They also started the formation of the PDM, circles, and so many others. But they find the MG community cooperatives is one other form that government has also recognized to deliver financial services to the communities, to the Ugandans. The MG community cooperatives are a model. It's a model that is being replicated from the Korean South Korea, and like I said, the reason is to provide financial services, to provide support, to contribute to the financial inclusion to this country. And in Korea, for example, where it has been replicated, it's one of the models that caused the turnaround.
Okay, now having said that, I come directly to Andrew here. Let's look at its impact in rural or promoting rural inclusion. What so far has it done? And not to forget, he didn't tell us, for how long have you been into this?
Thank you so much. The model that we are talking about today, like my colleague said, is from the Korean people. As we are all aware, Korea was one of the poorest countries in the world in the 1960s. Actually, Uganda was richer than Korea by that time. However, within a period of about 40 years, it was able to transform from being among the poorest to one of the richest economies in the world. And one of the key players in this transformation was this community credit cooperatives model, introduced to them by missionaries who visited them. So, what impact, what have we done in Uganda? This model started in Uganda in 2019. It was brought to us through a bilateral agreement between the government of Uganda and the government of South Korea. This discussion started when the president of South Korea visited Uganda in 2016. So thereafter, some of the institutions that we are sent to support us was Korean Federation of Community Credit Cooperatives, an equivalent of the Uganda Federation of Community Credit Cooperatives, which we have now today. So far since 2019, we have been able to establish 18 community cooperatives in Uganda. And we have been able, within our 18 community cooperatives, we have been able to mobilize approximately 15,000 members within a period of about 4 years. We have been able to pool resources as community credit cooperatives in our savings, in our share capital. We are now approximating 3 billion shillings. I want to mention that community cooperative establishment is not easy because of the mindset issues and because of the culture that we find in these people, thinking that government must provide. So to tell them to come together and form their own institution and be able to support themselves is something that you need to take a long time to touch their mindsets. So we are proud to mention of what we have been able to achieve, because today in the communities where we are working, you'll find people who are self-driven. They are no longer looking at what government is there to offer, but they are asking themselves, what can we do for ourselves? What is unique about what we do is that these cooperatives are community-owned, community-funded, community-managed. So we make sure that every stakeholder within the community is involved in the establishment, in the running of the institution. We bring together every stakeholder, the civic leaders, the political leaders, the cultural leaders, the religious leaders, all sectors of the economy, farmers, business people. We put them into a discussion as to why we need a financial institution. So at the end of it, we have something that people own. One of the biggest challenges in forming cooperatives is ownership. Many times when a government comes up with a very good initiative, at the end of the day, people want to look at it as a government institution other than their own institution. Yet the intention of government is to help them have an institution which can support them. But at the end of it all, people are looking at it as a government cooperative, government institution. So one of our biggest successes has been to bring that spirit of ownership.
Mindset change.
Yes, mindset change. That this is our own. We can transform, we can change our communities. And actually, our main goal in the community credit cooperatives, and the key word in what we do is community. We are rebuilding a spirit of community.
Okay. Now this takes me back to Pascal. You talked about the Korean Federation of Community Cooperatives. You said it is a partnership. To what extent are you involved? Now when I hear communities, when we hear, yes, it was a model we got from that country, but are there any further involvement in or benefits in this partnership?
Yeah, certainly yes, because like he said, establishing a financial cooperative at the in the rural areas may not be easy. So the Korean Federation of Community Credit Cooperatives supports us in terms of one, facilitating the formation of these cooperatives, two, strengthening them to make sure that they have the facilities, they have the equipments like the safes that are used to, that they use to keep the money. Remember, in any financial institution, safety is key. They support us to do trainings. In cooperatives, training of members, training of leaders is key. And therefore, the Korean Federation supports us a lot in training the members, in training the leaders. For them, one, that he just talked about mindset change. We've continuously taken them to, we have continuously trained them in mindset change. we've continuously trained them in governance. He talked about the challenge of ownership, and therefore we have to continuously train them to make sure that they embrace these financial cooperatives, they own them, then they are engaged in the activities that are that the financial cooperatives provide. One of the challenges in this country, in especially most of the financial cooperatives, is failure of the members to be engaged in their activities. Savings, of course, the financial cooperatives mobilize savings from their members. So you find most of them, most of the members in these financial cooperatives don't save. We have a poor savings culture in this country. Most of us don't save. We have another issue is repayment of loans is actually a serious challenge. And so we must continuously train them for them to be able to embrace, one, the importance of savings. We have one major product in these financial cooperatives, that much as they have the voluntary savings, but they must also have the programmed savings accounts where they specifically save for a goal. And it's very unique with us. So every member in this financial cooperative must have two accounts, the voluntary savings account, and then must have a programmed savings account where a member saves for a goal. So all these initiatives are aimed, one, to enable them appreciate that these financial cooperatives will help them in the socio-economic transformation, will help them to have a goat at the end of the day, will help them to have property to meet their basic needs. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about is in some MGs, they have been able to support villages, to connect power, to be able to support the villages, the community members, and then the members begin paying in installments at the village level. Some of them have been able to support the drilling of boreholes in the communities, for the communities to be able to access clean water. And therefore, they now begin, the community now begin paying chikumi, 100 shillings per jerrycan, which is now used to pay back the members' money.
Yes, you want to supplement,
additionally, the partnership has also helped us to develop our own digital banking system. So out of the 18 financial cooperatives which are members of the UFCC, 16 of them have computerized their systems. And it is interesting to see two very interesting things. We are working with the remotest areas where there was no access to financial services.
Now, when you say remotest areas, what is that? Also takes me to understand what is your area of coverage? Because communities, remote areas, Uganda has so many remote areas. How many maybe districts are you in? Just a brief picture.
Yes, thank you so much. Currently, we are working in Mpigi and Mitiana. That was our starting point, but we have a plan to spread out. However, we are careful to spread. We want, wherever we go, to make sure we are there to build sustainable institutions. So we are moving a little bit slowly, but slowly.
Sure that the members, the leaders actually own these institutions, and therefore safeguarding members' money has been one of the key pillars in making sure in our success.
And maybe if I can add, two things contribute to either to have a safe institution, especially a cooperative, or not. One of them is stake, members' stake in the institution. Whenever members look at the resources in the institution, and it is somebody else's resources, their stake is minimal, so nobody's business, even if that money is lost. So we emphasize members' stake, leaders' stake. How much do you have in this institution before you even want to become a leader in this institution? And two is about the products. That's what most financial institutions forget. If you are serving farmers, you must be mindful of the kind of products you're giving them. You must try to customize your products and services to their way of life. Otherwise, if you are giving a farmer a loan and you expect him to pay weekly or monthly,
it doesn't
adequately,
work.
it might not work. So we sit with them and we customize something that can work. And that it still takes us to what we are saying, ownership. They feel the design, the operation, the activities, everything about what we do is about us. So that strengthens the bond between the members and the institution.
Well, tomorrow...
Maybe for
briefly, please.
For he talked about the stake. Sometime back, I worked in the SACCO sector. I interacted with I went to a SACCO where there was the chairperson of the SACCO had only 10,000 shillings as a share, had 10,000 shillings as a minimum balance on his savings account, and had a loan of 3 million shillings in default 3 years. But the highest saver in that SACCO had 45 million. So how can a person who has only 20,000 assure safety of a member's money whose savings is over 40 million?
Oh, too hard to...
so that's the stake we are talking about. Yes.
Now, we must leave space for more programming. But before I let you go, each of you, I'll give you a minute for your parting shot. Yes, beginning with Andrew.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. We just want to appeal to the members out there. Tomorrow is our big day. Please come in big numbers as we celebrate the launch of our offices. Like you have heard, it's a pillar of our stability. It's a pillar of our sustainability. Our intention is to grow and cover the entire country, and we believe we are going to do that because many communities are calling us to replicate the model. Then on Friday, we are the host of the National Cooperative Symposium. We are inviting all cooperators across the country. Please join us. Let's come together as cooperators, and we discuss how we take the movement forward. Thank you.
Pasco, as we move out of here.
Yeah, thank you so much again. The main challenge that we have in this country has been the regulation. Certainly, for these institutions to operate, we need an adequate regulation. In the sector, we have so many laws. We have the cooperative law, we have the Tier 4 microfinance institutions. We don't know where we belong, how these will work together. And therefore, my appeal is, again, we need the government to come up with an adequate regulation that will favor the operation of financial cooperatives in this country. Secondly is taxation. Taxation of the financial cooperatives. We are talking about socio-economic transformation, and the president has continuously talked about the socio-economic transformation. Now, if the financial cooperatives are vehicles for economic social transformation, then we request that the government reconsiders that these financial cooperatives should not be taxed. So that, because once you tax them, it means that the benefits to a member automatically reduces. And so, it's my humble appeal, it's the humble appeal of the Uganda Federation of Community Credit Cooperatives and other cooperators in this country that government reconsiders the exemption of these financial cooperatives from paying tax.
Well, I want to thank you so much, Andrew and Pascal from Uganda Federation of Credit Cooperatives. Thank you so much. And of course, in case you are not aware, how best can you be part of this? Yes, they're still in two districts, but we hope that you'll expand, and tomorrow will be the launch of their office. Well, we'll be still continuing with Good Morning Uganda. See you in the next hour. Good morning.